Hello, thanks for clicking. Today I want to talk about the 4-vinyl box set from Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska, 82 extended edition. It also comes with a Blu-ray. And then I also want to talk about the film Deliver Me From Nowhere that just was released. I think what I'm going to do first is talk about the film, and I think I'm going to do that by first showing a little trailer clip. If that trailer clip isn't right after what I say here, you can rest assured that I had to take it out.
It's a 305 V8.
Never owned a new car before.
It's awfully fitting for a handsome devil rock star. I do know who you are.
Well, that makes one of us.
Here's what I want you to understand. This is not about either one of us. This is not about the charts. This is about Bruce Springsteen. And these are the songs that he wants to work on right now.
So, let's talk about the movie first. I actually received this last week, but I knew I wasn't going to see the movie until Saturday. And so I held off listening to the album because I wanted to see the movie and then listen to the album and be all stoked up for it. So the movie's called Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. It stars Jeremy Allen White as Bruce Springsteen, does a really good job. And then Jeremy Strong as Springsteen's manager and producer, John Landau. It was based on the book by Warren Zanes. I believe that's his name. Warren Zanes' book, Deliver Me From Nowhere. And it revolves around Bruce Springsteen's construction of his album, Nebraska, and everything that was going on in his life during that time. And if you're watching this video, I assume that you have some familiarity with Bruce Springsteen's history, especially the Nebraska album, but maybe not. I don't think that's crucial to watching this video, but it'd probably help. And have some idea about what the movie's about. I went with somebody who did not know what the movie was about. She knew it was about Bruce Springsteen, but she was not aware of the bleakness of the film. So Nebraska was something that Bruce Springsteen was coming up with in 1981, 1982, where he was doing these little demos in his home on a 4-track recorder. And what happened was he decided the demos sounded better by themselves with just him singing his guitar, harmonica, than having the full electric band with him. And this is all about getting that album out and all the personal struggles Bruce was having with his newfound fame and a history with a father that was less than ideal. And it's a very powerful, those early scenes with where he's playing a boy and his father. And if any of you have ever had a relationship with your father that was strained, where you had some strange combination of love and hate for your father, you will associate with this film. You will relate to it. I relate to it very well, and it was very powerful for me. The thing I think most people are going to complain about the film is it is very slow moving and it is bleak. It is not a feel-good movie. When I found out that my friend that I was going to the movie with, she didn't know what it was about. She just knew it was about Bruce Springsteen. And I said, you know, you're not going to probably leave this film feeling very good. And she did say at the end when we were leaving, she said, you know, it wasn't at all what I was thinking it was going to be, but I did like it. Anyway, there's lots of great things in the film. There's the kind of rock star trope where he's struggling to figure out who he is now that he has come to fame and fortune. And there's that struggle, like, who am I? Where am I? Am I going to keep connected to my roots? Am I going to lose myself in all this? And there's that's going on, which I think is interesting. As somebody who has been propelled to fame through my YouTube-ness, I think I'm one of the few people that can understand the struggles that Bruce was going through at the time. But anyway, the more important part to me, or the more powerful part to me, was that strained relationship with his father, his love for his mother, and this struggle that was going on in himself, dealing with his past. It affects his current relationships. He actually has a mental breakdown towards the end of the film, contemplates suicide. It gets really dark. So don't expect to feel really great after this film. But if you know the album Nebraska, I don't think you should be surprised. I think the album speaks for itself, and that's what Bruce pretty much says through the movie, is he had caught something real with that 4-track recorder and just his voice, guitar and his harmonica in that lonely room. So let's talk about the album. One more thing about the film. I know I have so many thoughts in my head and I didn't write any of this down, so it's coming out kind of sporadically. But one of the things I loved about the film is there are these little kind of hidden gems. They weren't hidden, they were out in public, but they just meant something to me, and it was kind of a thrill to see him. For example, he's in his room and he's reading Flannery O'Connor stories. And Flannery O'Connor is one of my favorite authors from my young adulthood. It was, and if you know her subject matter, you can kind of see how that all weaves into Nebraska. But while he's reading that, his attention is drawn to the television, and the movie Badlands is playing on the television, and it's the story of Charles Starkweather, the man who, you know, drove across Nebraska with his girlfriend and killed everybody he came across. And it stars Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek. Well, that was like a favorite movie of mine when I was younger, and it was, of course, one of the inspirations for Bruce for this album. He started writing Nebraska in the voice of Charles Starkweather. And then his father early on takes him to a movie, and it's Night of the Hunter with Robert Mitchum. And I've always loved that movie, just creeped the hell out of me. And his father took him to this movie. And if you remember the movie, I don't think they show any of this in the film, but on his knuckles, Robert Mitchum has love and hate. And then he does this whole thing about how love and hate struggle with each other. And it was just such a great vehicle to represent his father and his feelings for his father. I just wanted to mention that because it was these small things that I found thrilling about the film. And also there is some subtle humor in here. Some of it's not so subtle, but it is so welcomed when you hear it. Everybody in the audience that I was in, at least, they caught it, and everybody laughed at the same things. But there's some subtle humor in here, but not really enough to carry you through the film. So let's talk about this box set. This is a 4 LP box set with a Blu-ray in here, and it is, I'm not going to go song by song, but I did want to talk about the set because I am really impressed with it. I just love it. I have a video, an early video where I was doing a series about albums I love, and Nebraska is in that series. I'll link to it below if you want to watch it. But this is one of my all-time favorite albums. I love this album. And I wasn't going to do this video at first because I felt there's probably other people that could do this better, smarter, better production. But damn it, I love this album so much, I thought I'm going to give it a shot. And I just watched the movie, and then I came home and I listened to this whole thing because I love this album so much. And this is a really good production. But let me go through what's in here. Like I mentioned, there's 4 LPs, and they're all marked. This first LP is Nebraska Outtakes, and it's exactly what it says it is. Every one of these records is worth having. There's nothing throwaway about this. These are the outtakes. Some of these you hear later in Born in the USA. I think there's even a version of Pink Cadillac on here, all stripped down. But this Born in the USA, all stripped down demo version, gorgeous. I love it. That alone makes this record worthwhile to listen to and have. The second one is what is called Electric Nebraska. So what you'll see in the film when he's talking about Electric Nebraska is, so he originally was just going to do these demos on that 4-track tape, take them in, and then build up the songs with the full band. And that's what he did. He took them in, and Born in the USA came out of that, and it was a very powerful song. But as he's going through these other songs that ended up on Nebraska, he's like, I don't think it's as good. I don't think it's as powerful as just me, my voice, even with the imperfections of the 4-track recorder. One of the things you find in the film is how difficult it was to get a decent sounding album out with those from his 4-track recordings, because it had imperfections and distortion and stuff, and they had to go back and use really old equipment and by hand make this album so it sounded as good as it did. But anyway, this Electric Nebraska, some of the songs on here are Downbound Train, Open All Night, Born in the USA, Reason to Believe, Nebraska, Atlantic City, Mansion on the Hill, and Johnny 99. It's with the band. And like he says in the movie, it loses something with the full band. But again, it's really interesting to hear, and it's really worth hearing. It's especially if you're a fan of this album particularly. Then, before you get to the other 2 LPs, there's a nice book in here. And it goes over the making of that album. One of the things Bruce liked about the album is he liked that it sounded vulnerable. Him just in a room In the movie, he says something like, me singing in the shower. But it's a gorgeous book, and it's this is like put together almost like a photo album or something. But then after the book, you get the final 2 albums, and what you get is Bruce Springsteen. He recorded the songs live again in Count Basie Theater in New Jersey. And so it's without a crowd, so you don't get, there's not applause, there's not somebody screaming out Bruce in the quietest part of a song. It's just Bruce. It's recorded in 2025, recorded very well. Beautiful, beautiful. Of the records, that's probably the one I'll listen to the least, though, because I love the purity of that Nebraska disc so well. I do want to mention this. This is the Blu-ray that comes with it, and here's my confession. I was going to watch this when I got home from work today before I did this video. I can't figure out how to get my I've been playing PlayStation for a while. I can't get my PlayStation switched over so I can watch the DVD. But it's the film version of him in Count Basie Theater. So it's kind of cool too. The disc looks like, you know, the Columbia label. But I can't tell you much about that just because I've heard it on the record, but I've not seen it. I will someday. I'll get my niece over here and she'll help me out here. But then the final record is the remastered Nebraska. And I'm going to link to Norman Masloff's video below. He does such a great job on talking about this record, and his production, of course, is so good. I'm going to link to his video. He talks about the remastering of this and how he thinks that the mix is too loud. It's too loud. And it's true. It's the one record on here where I actually turn the volume down to listen to it. But I think it's a great, it does not irritate me in the least that I have to turn it down a little bit, but it sounds great and it's so moving. I just love this record. I think that they did a fine job remastering it. I don't think there's anything, there was nothing wrong with it, I guess I should say. It's still powerful. I still love it. Like I said, Mazzy talks about this record. Sam, Americana Sam, he calls himself now. He talks about the CD box collection. So I'm going to link to Sam below too. Anyway, I love the movie. I love the box set. I would recommend it to just about anybody, even if you don't particularly like Bruce Springsteen. If you have ever had, if you have ever struggled with a relationship with your father, this is a good movie to see. It kind of heals you a little bit. Maybe not all the way, but it heals you a little bit. And as I told my friend Colby when we went there, I said, you know, it's a bleak movie, but you know it turns out well because Bruce is still around and he's still doing records. So thanks for watching. I hope I did this album and movie some justice, and I'll see you in the next video.